Good evening and welcome. You're watching Breaking Views with me, Sanket Upadhyay, a show where we get you all the views so that you get the complete picture. You see, an incident happened 15 days ago. This was the Morbi bridge collapse in Gujarat. A lot was promised that guilty will be punished and a thorough investigation will be carried out. The Prime Minister visited the spot. He went to the hospital. The hospital was painted. All of those things were discussed, spoken about, pictures seen. Let's put all of that behind. The one thing which was a clear promise made back then, 15 days ago, not very far away, was a thorough investigation. What we are about to present today, 15 days later, is that investigation report card. Where does that investigation lie? The Prime Minister came, you colored the hospital, you bought a new water cooler, all of that is fine, it's behind us. But what about the investigation? 15 days on, has there been any justice in the Morbi murders? First of all, let's begin with the timeline. On the 26th of October, the Morbi bridge reopens ahead of schedule. Remember, it was supposed to be shut for maintenance, but ahead of schedule, it was reopened. On the 30th of October, the bridge collapsed, killing 135, including 47 children. On that very day, 9 people, including, in fact, the very next day, on the 31st of October, 9 people, including low-level managers, ticket clerks, subcontractors, all of them were picked up, arrested, questioning began. On the 3rd of November, cops visited the Oreva office. In fact, they found that the office was locked. How convenient. They visited the office of the Oreva bosses, found it locked, returned. On the 4th of November, the Morbi Municipal Corporation Chief Officer was suspended, but not questioned, not arrested. The Oreva MD family has been missing since the 26th of October. What has happened 15 days later now? Let's find out. This huge revolving question mark. That's the reality of the Morbi investigation 15 days later. Now let's tell you what action needed to be taken and what has happened in return. So what needed to be done? The allegation was a clock manufacturer was given a bridge repair contract. Who's responsible for this? Morbi Municipal Authority. What action has been taken against them? The top boss has been suspended, but no name in the FIR, no arrest. Allegation number 2, the clock manufacturer sublet the contract to a smaller company. Nobody knows whether that company was competent enough to be able to repair that bridge or not. Who's responsible? The Oreva owners, Jaisukh Bhai Patel. What is the action taken so far 15 days later? That giant revolving question mark. No name in FIR, no arrest. Allegation number 3, the company with no expertise in bridge repair was awarded the contract. Who awarded this? Morbi government authorities. Action taken, still no name in the FIR, still no arrest. Another allegation is that the bridge repair work was limited to cosmetic work. Corroded wires were not changed. Oreva company owners were responsible. No name in the FIR, no arrests have taken place so far. And last but not the least, the allegation that no tendering process was followed in awarding the bridge renovation contract. Morbi administration is responsible. Along these lines, in the investigation, no name has been filed in the FIR and no arrests have been made against those authorities responsible. Now, can I tell you something very interesting? This presentation that you see right now, not a comma changed, is exactly what we presented on this very show on the 3rd of November. Since the 3rd of November, we had to make no obvious change to our presentation. Tells you a lot about the pace of the investigation. But do you know what has changed? The politics. There is a political aapada mein avsar, a big political opportunity ahead of polls. That has definitely happened because in Gujarat elections, the BJP dropped their sitting Morbi MLA. The BJP fielded former Morbi MLA Kanti Lal Amrutia. Now, Amrutia shot to fame after videos of him rescuing Morbi victims went viral. It was a very noble gesture on his part. But by the way, that's the only thing that has happened. That is, this visual has created or thrown open a window of opportunity for this man. What about those who want a thorough investigation, a probe in this matter? Why do we have a situation that even now, nothing, no forward movement has taken place as far as the investigation is concerned? What is the objective that people conveniently forget? Here is the investigation report card that we have presented in front of you. So the big questions, the bridge of lies, a criminal cover-up, shoddy probe. Many people ask, is that an act of God? Real culprits are still at large and the insignificant seem to be arrested in this particular case. And you would remember that one of the managers in court said that the bridge fell down, this was a will of God. So was awarding the contract to a clockmaker also a will of God? Subletting a contract to a company also the will of God? Not repairing corroded iron bars, will of God? Allowing 500 people on the bridge also a will of God? Not arresting, naming Oreva owners also a will of God? And not arresting and naming Morbi officials, is this also a will of God? And the funny bit is, should I call it funny or sad? Even this presentation is about 12 days old. So what we presented to you in terms of graphics 12 days ago is all relevant even now. Not an inch has moved as far as the Morbi investigation is concerned. So 15 days later, Oreva top bosses as well as Morbi officials still not named, they are still free. Who do we blame for this situation? I would like to introduce all our guests this evening. First of all, Ankit Tyagi, my colleague, who was in fact there in Morbi reporting this entire incident extensively. Ankit had investigated most of these things that you see in that graphic presentation. He is going to talk about this in greater detail. We also have Ajay Umat, Group Director of Ahmedabad Mirror and Nav Gujarat Samay. Shama Mohammed, Congress spokesperson. PKD Nambiar is a political analyst. Views lean towards the BJP. Alok Vats is a leader of the BJP. Reena Gupta, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. Thank you very much. It's an important discussion. 15 days later, no update in investigation. Ankit, is this the ultimate tragedy? I mean, can you please tell us where you left the investigation on the ground when you came back to Delhi, and where does it stand right now?
On early morning, October 31st, I was in Morbi, Sanket. I left Gujarat on 5th of November. And it's very sad, but the truth is that the investigation hasn't moved even 1.5 steps as far as the progress report is concerned. Still, those 9 people are in police custody. 4 of them, in fact, are in police custody. 5 are in judicial custody right now. Oreva boss, Mr. Jaisukh Patel, the main man, the man who signed the contract, the man who is so influential that even today, there is no FIR, there is zero police, in fact, notice, even someone asking him to join the investigation. He's nowhere to be found. What I learned before I came to, in fact, Delhi, was that on the night of 31st October itself, he had left for Ahmedabad, and since then nobody knows where this man is, who on 24th of October was telling people at the inauguration of this bridge that I have done such a wonderful job that this bridge is going to be strong and this bridge is going to be, would withstand for next 10 to 15 years. Apart from that, Sanket, you spoke about the Morbi Municipal Commissioner. Now, there are 2 parties to it. The police FIR says we will also investigate those who are responsible for the contract and also those who are managing this bridge. Now, responsible for the contract. Who were the people, those who signed this contract? The Morbi Municipal Corporation, not only in 2022 March, but also in 2010. So this has been going on since 2010. In 2020, the then District Magistrate of Morbi writes a letter, a copy of which is with the NDTV, asking the Morbi Municipal Corporation to immediately give a long-term contract to the Oreva Group. Why? Because Oreva Group had written to the DM saying, because you are delaying our contract, we will stop all work. We will not maintain the bridge. We will stop all work. We would not be able to engage any people. So they blackmailed the DM. The DM gives in, and the Morbi Municipal Corporation, which is responsible for it, their chief, Mr. Zala, has only been, Sanjeev Singh Zala has only been questioned once. He has been suspended. Sanket, the question is, if he has been suspended, then there is some sort of admission that there was something wrong.
Obviously, and where is the questioning? My point is, you would two things that are a requisite for any legal action. Number one, is there accountability? Ankit says yes. It's very clear. It's all documented, Mr. Ajay Umat. It's all documented. But then you first have to name people in the FIR. Then you have to bring them up for questioning. And if you find that they're guilty, then arrest them. The first step itself has not been done.
Unfortunately, only action is inaction.
Well said.
And the same thing I am repeating, which I said on 3rd of November. The harsh reality is that, there are 3 public interest litigations lying in Gujarat High Court. The matter was heard on 4th of November, and Chief Justice himself said that, government of Gujarat has to file their counter affidavit on 14th of November. Unfortunately, the Chief Justice of Gujarat High Court was on leave today, so bench was not constituted today, and there was no hearing in court. Supreme Court, I learned that, they have also agreed that they will hear this matter. But in between, what I learned and what Ankit Tyagi has said one step further from Gujarat High Court circle, that, this contract that says that absolute management will be given to Oreva Group is mentioning only about operational purpose, maintenance, security, sanitation, payment, hiring, firing, and every year they can increase 2 rupees more. But there is no mention of safety of this bridge. So, they are trying to find out some legal this thing. Government of Gujarat Home Department has said that, they will have a lookout notice against these Oreva Group owners and managing directors and others. They did not issue a lookout notice also. And my information says that, this owner is having very, very powerful connection with power that be in Gujarat and in center. And that's the reason. And he also belongs to Patidar community, Leua Patidar community, and is also giving handsome funds to all the political parties. And that is one of the reasons that nobody is making a noise. And I may not be surprised as it happened in Lakhimpur Kheri, BJP will win this Morbi seat. So people are discussing whether it will have impact, but there will be no impact.
No, but then here is the thing. My point is, and I'm limiting myself, Alok Vats, I am only and only through the course of this through the course of this program limiting myself to the point of investigation. What is the political fallout going to be? You won Lakhimpur Kheri, whether you will win Morbi or not, all the best. That is not a subject matter of discussion, because there is a very weird habit that political stakeholders have by saying that, look, if people were that angry, we would not have won. That is not the point. The point is investigation. On the investigation front, is it not a matter of shame that I could pick up my presentation of the 3rd of November and publish it as is? Zero forward movement, nothing, zilch.
Well, Sanket, what I have heard from the group editor and also Ankit, I have heard him earlier also speak on this. It seems there has been some lapses, and probably the Morbi authorities, hand in glove with some other people, have done all this mess. But let me tell you one thing, that incident which took place was because of overcrowding, and that was because of the connivance of the security guard and the clerks there, who probably cut more tickets than required to
but
go
Mr.
on
Vats,
the
that's
bridge.
very convenient. A very convenient argument to make.
Let me complete.
Will a ticket clerk do this on his own?
Sir, let me complete, please. So probably they were first hand caught and put behind bars. But yes, there is a bigger nexus which is now coming out, and we are trying to find out who are these people. Today I thought, when the High Court has taken cognizance and there will be something from the authorities there, but as the group editor said that the court didn't sit, so the matter was suspended for today.
That's my next point. Do you feel that only a court-monitored probe will make sense? Otherwise, we will somehow slip into this very convenient mode of delayed, protracted, investigation and procrastination of a kind,
let me tell
Shama
you-
Mohammed, where people
let me
much
tell you
rather
one
forget
thing,
about
Sanket.
this incident. And then an electoral victory will be presented as proof that all is well.
Yeah, so a couple of points from my side. You missed out a very important point when you started out and you gave the introduction. It's the second day after these deaths. Remember, more than 37 children died. More than 140 people died. That's a huge number of people. Most people, most countries will be putting flowers there, lighting candles, and there would be a prayer and no work done by the government. But what did Mr. Modi do? He was very, very busy laying foundation stones. He just didn't care. Number two, where is, like you asked, Mansoor
No, this is wrong.
Patel?
He landed
Wait,
there.
let me finish.
He
Where is
landed
Mr.
there. He came to Morbi.
Where is?
Don't say that.
Wait, let me speak. Let me speak. I
One
did
by
not
one,
interrupt.
please.
Let me finish. So he was, he landed later. He should not have done that day the foundation laying of the foundation stone. Where is Mr. Patel? Are we going to see another Paramveer Singh? Remember the commissioner, Mumbai commissioner, who disappeared. Even the Home Ministry did not know. So I do feel the state is protecting Mr. Patel. How is it not possible to find Mr. Patel for so many days? Number three, where is accountability after 2014? Why hasn't the corporator been arrested? Why hasn't the district magistrate been arrested? Why is the urban development minister not resigned? I mean, such a huge tragedy. No arrest in the corporation, no municipal corporator. Why hasn't the urban development minister had resigned? And very important point is, on just before this, the ANI covered the event. The Oreva, the owner of Oreva, Mr. Patel, did a press conference. So are you saying all this was done? As you know, ANI is a government, basically government organization sort of thing. Are you saying that this was all covered without the knowledge of the municipal corporation, without the knowledge of the DM, without the knowledge of the government, the state government? What are you saying? And then you arrest innocent people like the security guard, the ticket collector. I mean, that's an insult. And that too.
Okay, Reena Gupta, I want to bring you in and then PKD Nambiar.
How dare!
Okay. Reena Gupta, very quickly. What do you make of this investigation right now?
Sanket, first of all, it's commendable that NDTV has stayed with the story. Everybody else seems to have forgotten. This is a mass murder and criminal negligence and corruption, a story where you have a triple engine ka sarkar. The Prime Minister, the Chief Minister, the Municipal Corporation of Morbi were all Bharatiya Janata Party. How is it possible that not a single politician has taken responsibility? Not a single person has resigned? And, you've seen recently that the sale of electoral bonds has been extended by the union government. So I think Mr. Jasut Patel is probably busy right now buying electoral bonds and making sure that the coffers of Bharatiya Janata Party are filled to make sure that he is not put behind bars. This is nothing. And the government of Bharatiya Janata Party is being so brazen, Sanket, right now because of the election. There is so much of limelight on this case. Still they are brazing it out. We are saying हमारा कोई कुछ नहीं बिगाड़ सकता. हम किसी का नाम FIR में नहीं लिखेंगे, कोई इस्तीफा नहीं देगा. जिसको जो चाहें आप कर सकते हैं. In the last 2 years, Sanket, there have been 20 SITs in Gujarat. Whether it's the Takshila Kand, whether it's the issue of poisonous liquor being sold in Gujarat, it is just really brazen how Bharatiya Janata Party has decided that nobody is accountable for anything that goes wrong in the state of Gujarat. And you're very right. They'll say कि हम चुनाव जीत गए. If they win, और लोगों ने हमें वोट दे दिया, so how does it matter? But I'm very happy that NDTV has stayed on with this story. The lives of people cannot be so cheap. Oreva Group's MD who inaugurated this bridge. Oreva is a very small town. Everybody in that town knew that the bridge has been opened. The police knew. The police that comes knocking to our doors if we try to build one small
fine. Reena Gupta, I think you've made your point. Just want to reiterate there since you mentioned this twice. PKD Nambiar, before I come to you, the thing is, this is a simple case of Ankit and our team following up on an investigation on a very, 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 very disturbing story. I don't think this is expected of the media. This is not something extraordinary. Mr. PKD Nambiar, in that context, I want to ask you this very, very simple question. Do you feel that it is a matter of great and immense shame for a state that 15 days later, not a comma has changed, not an inch has moved, and the investigation report is an absolute failure. If you could unmute yourself, Mr. Nambiar.
Sanket, I was on your show, the presentation what you have presented today, I was on your show that day and I said that I will be very happy if you could take this up. Maybe after 15 days later we should talk about it.
And here we are.
Here you are. So my compliments to you. One thing I will tell you, we are discussing about the 140 plus people.
Okay, you seem to have lost that connection. But Ankit,
yeah. You know, I just wanted to come in and
Ankit,
make two quick points, two very quick points on this. That Mr. Watts was speaking about, you know, the ticket collector. Yeah, of course, ticket collector can be blamed that he cut more tickets, but he did not do that on 30th of October. The reports the agreement, the police report very specifically says that this was to be repaired and they were to open it in December. They opened it to make a few quick bucks, you know, 3 months earlier.
Very interesting point.
Earlier than the
very interesting point. Mr. Alok Watts, was it the ticket collector responsible for opening this bridge early? It's very convenient to say that ticket collector allowed more people. Was it his responsibility to start collecting tickets?
No, I'm not blaming the ticket collector or the guard. There have been people from top also who must have told them to do so. I quite agree with you, and very astonishingly, things are still stalled. I'm totally baffled why it is not moving forward. I thought today some things will come out when the thing is filed in the court, but unfortunately it did not happen.
Do you feel on this program? Do you feel that people who clearly signed that document, who are blaming one another, authorities saying that the bridge company opened it on its own and early, and the company directors who have just gone missing, do you feel that the least that can be done right now is to call them for questioning and then arrest them?
There have been a lot of people who have been hand in glove for this fiasco, for this catastrophe. It's not any individual doing, it's many agencies, many
PKD
people,
Nambiar, do we have
many
him back?
companies.
Okay, Shama Mohammed and Reena Gupta one by one. Ms. Reena Gupta, you wanted to come in.
Yeah, Sanket, one point.
I'll come to you. Shamaji, I'll come to you. One more. Yeah.
Okay.
Sanket, it is very clear from the documents that 2 crore was allocated for the repair of this bridge and only 12 lakh was spent. Now, it is a clear case of corruption. It is very clear that the municipality and the senior leaders of Bharatiya Janata Party were involved hand in glove in this corruption. And still nobody is being named in their FIR. The union,
how can you blame the senior leaders of Bharatiya Janata Party?
He is solely responsible for the municipal corporation of. So the Chief Minister of Gujarat should have resigned.
Okay, here is the thing. Let's quickly take this discussion forward. Ms. Shama Mohammed, do you feel that only a court-monitored probe will make any sense? Otherwise, you know, we have this 15 days later question mark. 30 days later also we'll have a question mark. 6 months later also there'll be a question mark.
No, I agree with you, but you have to understand there has to be something called empathy. This is culpable homicide here. People have been killed. See, you know, when you have a train accident, it's an accident. But this is a known thing. You give a watchmaker the contract. Now, Mr. Watts, who gave them the contract? Please let me know. Why did the municipal, there's nobody else other than state authorities. Municipal corporation has given the contract under the Urban Development Ministry. So why did they give contract to somebody who makes clocks, who makes what, mosquito rackets, killing rackets? Why did you give the contract? When you saw that everything was rusted, they were just painted, you just cannot do that. So this is, knowingly you gave the contract to a watchmaker. So this is actually culpable homicide. These municipal corporators, the DMs and whoever is involved in giving that contract have to be arrested.
Okay, sure. Ajay Ummat wanted to come in. Quick last comment. Mr. Ajay Ummat,
Yeah, Sanket, the documentation shows that, you know, the earlier chief officer was not willing to sign an agreement, and
Yes,
that was
yes.
the reason
Ankit
that
highlighted that in
Gandhinagar
his
has
report.
appointed Mr. Sandeep Jhala on 4th of March, and on 7th of March, he signed an agreement, and on 8th of March they made a note in their corporation register. But the law in government of Gujarat says that it has to be ratified by the general board, which was not done even today. So now, in legal parlance, they say it would be treated as null and void ab initio. So, they will find some legal loophole, and Oreva people may come out of this thing. You mark my word, as this Reena Gupta ji has said, there were so many SITs in Gujarat in Taxila fire tragedy where so many children died in Surat.
As we
In
end this
Bhuj tragedy
broadcast,
also,
there is
in
only a
none
very
of the
simple
SIT
question
anything
that
has
one
happened.
has to ask, and we have to ask ourselves as Ankit continues to investigate this story. Can we let this happen? Can we let this investigation fizzle out and the guilty wriggle out? Should we do that? And will that be real justice to the people, the 135 odd, including 47 children who were killed? We have to ask ourselves this question. Whether or not who wins from Morbi, is the investigation on track? Good night and goodbye.